To all my truck drivers out there, no matter if you're a young trucker, old trucker, your body will not last. I promise you that. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over why you need to get in trucking, get the money, and get out. Basically using trucking as a stepping stone. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is TJackk. I'm an Uber fleet owner. I used to drive trucks myself. Now I range from flatbed to reefer to drive-in. I did a couple different trucking jobs, so I'm speaking from experience. But I drove from 19 all the way into 24. So I got the money, got my stuff together, and then I got out. And in today's video, I'm gonna just be going over why you need to get out too. And I'm here to give y'all all the facts, all the information, everything I got to offer, because I feel like trucking is a stepping stone. Don't get me wrong. I know there's people out there that love to drive trucks. Cool. That's good for them. But for the people that's just trying to make money, start a business, entrepreneur, use trucking as a stepping stone. So whenever I used to drive trucks, throughout the years of me driving, like I said, I drove from 19 to 24. I ended up getting rhabdomyolysis twice. And for those of you that don't know what rhabdomyolysis is, it's basically when your body burned out. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about what all happened. I actually made a video on it on my YouTube channel. You know, I got hospitalized twice, you know, and it was with this one trucking job. It was just one trucking, my last trucking job, actually. The one I quit recently before I became an entrepreneur. So I ended up getting rhabdomyolysis twice. And that stuff can kill you, y'all. It's basically when your body burn out. Now, a little bit of that was my fault. You know, I was going crazy, working 15 hours per day, also trying to go to the gym and also trying to side hustle. Whenever you're an entrepreneur and you want to make it happen, you're going to do whatever you can to make it happen. But I'm going to tell you now, you can't do both, which is why I got rhabdomyolysis twice. I was a workhorse, and that was 7 days a week, y'all. No days off. So that's why I ended up getting it. But the point is, trucking caused it because I was putting anywhere between 12 to 15 hours per day, literally driving, you know, not sleeping. I get into all of that later, but I'm just going over, you know, quick part. But anyways, driving trucks, I got back problems, not really back problems, but basically, you know, back aches and stuff. Y'all know you drive trucks, you in a certain position for a certain amount of time. That stuff take a toll on your back, man. It really do. Especially if you're driving for long periods, 12 to 15 hours, you know, do that for a couple years. You're going to be, you know, walking with a limp and, you know, especially like if you don't work out. Like a lot of these truck drivers don't work out. All they do is eat, drive, and carry on. So super unhealthy. Also brain fog. I wasn't sleeping. And if you're a truck driver, you're not really going to sleep a whole lot. I'm going to just be honest with you, whether you local or on the road. Because when it's local, yeah, you put in 12 to 15 hours. And I'm talking about the real good trucking jobs. I don't need people in my comment section that work a trucking job where they work 6 to 8 hours. I'm talking about a real deal trucking job where you putting in 12 to 15 hours per day. So yeah, you don't sleep as much. So brain fog, back problems, and really no rest time, because even when you're not working or the days that you off, you know, you still having issues with your back. Now me, I was in the gym working out. So it helped a little bit, me exercising, stretching my back, doing like yoga and stuff. That stuff actually helped, but it don't do you no good because you're going right back into, you know, driving a truck. And this was in my early 20s, y'all. I can't imagine the guys that's 30, 40, 50 that's driving trucks right now. I know their back probably fucked. But yeah, so me being in this business, I talked to a bunch of different drivers, and I kind of seen from afar of like, damn, man, I feel bad for this guy. Like an old man barely getting out the truck, climbing up the truck, trying to strap a load. I'm like, damn, they can barely do it, whether they was old, fat, you know, not knowing what they doing. I'm just like, wow, man. You know, I see it, you know, trucking took a toll on them. But majority of the people I talked to was just, you know, them type of people, fat, out of shape, barely could walk. Whenever you talk to them, they, and I start to notice like I was doing that, you know, because you don't sleep. Like I said, no matter how much caffeine you consume, whether it's energy drinks or coffee, that stuff is not good for you. I used to drink a shit ton of coffee, also energy drinks as well. And I think if anything, it makes it worse. You know, you're not sleeping. Sleep is very, very important. And I feel like I took that for granted. I don't want y'all to take that for granted. So make sure you're trying to get as much rest as possible. But basically, whenever you're an older truck driver, it's hard for you to get out the trucking business. It really is, because you don't know nothing else. You're already at up in age where, you know, if you try to go get another job, they're not going to pay you as much versus driving a truck. So some of these drivers was stuck. They was going to retire driving a truck. So I'm like, this can't be me. And even before I got into trucking, I always had like an entrepreneur mindset, which, like I said, this is not for everybody. This is for if you want to actually escape and get out, you know. I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. But what really hit me, which I kind of knew as I was coming up in my early 20s, late teens, like no job really gonna pay you what you're worth. I even said it in my other video. And talking to the trucking company that I was at, I'm like, okay, man, I've been at this trucking company for 2.5 years, finna be 3 years. You know, what's up with the pay? You know, how could I get a raise? Well, this is all we can pay you. It won't go above this. And I'm like, I can't do it. Like literally, y'all, they only had 3 tiers and I was already basically finna hit tier 3. And I'm like, oh, I'm only averaging 1,400 a week. So to me, the hours and the physical toll that it put on your body wasn't worth the pay. Like what the fuck is $1,400? Especially if you got like a big family. Now I didn't have a big family, but still that wasn't enough money for me. I'm a very ambitious guy and I wanted things in life and I wanted to start my own businesses and stuff. I'm like, man, me trying to get to where I want to get to by stacking money at this trucking job, I'll never get there. So I'm like, man, they never gonna pay me what I'm worth. So I think it's time to cut it and just take the risk, which I did. But basically I was capped. It wasn't no growth at the trucking job. You know, you work in a trucking job right now, the only thing you can do is be a truck driver. That's it. And I mean, I know at the end of the day, that's what you're signing up to be, a truck driver. But I don't know. To me, like I said, it was just outdated. It got old. I know everybody operate differently, but if you know God put you here for something better, not to just sit in a box driving all day, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, no growth. And then it's just slowly taking a toll on your body, mental and body physically. So I realized that me putting in 12 to 15 hours for 1,400 a week wasn't worth it no more. It's either I take the risk now or I'm going to be stuck here forever. So that's when I took the risk, which is super duper important. Another thing, whenever you go down, these trucking companies do not care. If y'all go watch all my old vlogs of me talking about the trucking business when I was driving for my last company, the name is Quick Creep, they didn't care. I ended up getting rhabdomyolysis, y'all. What they did to me, and I'm not trying to like paint them as a bad company. They was a cool company, but what they did to me, because like I was a super hard worker, super hard driver. So I was kind of like a favorite. They was giving me all like the early loads, early runs, which I love, by the way. I'm over here waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning, for God's sakes. I'm running hard. I'm running from 2 a.m., 3 a.m., all the way till 6 p.m., sometimes even 7 p.m. So they favored me by giving me the good load. Soon as I went down because of me putting that stress on my body physically and mentally, that's when they gave me the shitty loads because I had to reduce my work hours. So I went from working 12 to 15 hours to now working anywhere between 10 to 12, which is still a lot of hours, by the way. So before I got rhabdo, I was running 3 loads. After rhabdo, I was running 2 loads, which they didn't like that. You know, these companies, they want to get out. These are corporate companies. So when it comes to corporate, they just want mass production. So they're like, one of our drivers, he went down. So they gave me all the shitty loads. And by shitty loads, I mean loads that was like late, where they knew they probably was going to take forever to unload me. And I hated that. Like I said, y'all, go watch my old vlogs of me talking about it. I hated it because it delayed my day. It's like they kind of knew, like, okay, we losing him as a driver. Let's just give him all the shitty stuff and then bring in the new hard drivers to replace him with. Basically, that's, you know, what I felt like. So basically, I was just, you know, replaceable, which is fine. You got to accept that as an employee. You're replaceable. If you die today, they don't give a fuck. They'll hire somebody else. That's just the harsh reality. The faster you accept it, the better you can understand it. That's the best way I can put it. So having that mindset of, if you go down as a driver, your trucking company literally will not give a fuck. Just help you out as a driver to plan better for the future, to know, hey, I'm not going to be loyal to none of these companies, because at the end of the day, if I go down, something happened to me, they're not going to care as much. Understand that. Now, driving a truck for me, my last trucking job was 60 to 70K a year, which is good. You know, you putting in 12 to 15 hours. I was single, making decent money, you know, but that came with a price. Brain fog, let me be easy on the back problems, y'all. I keep saying back problems. Back aches. I don't know if back aches equate to back problems, but hey, brain fog, back aches, and also, just harsh treatment whenever they can't use you like they once did. So it's all good. But, now that I made that transition, and I'm going to be as transparent, as honest with y'all as possible. Whenever I was driving a truck, I was side hustling. I wasn't just dependent on that trucking job to pay me. No, I had other things going on that was paying me as well. I was doing social media. I told y'all in my other videos, I was doing like faceless pages. So I was trying to get monetized off these pages to pay me money for posting videos. That's what I was doing. I didn't know what else to do, so I was just doing stuff. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to try a million things. I'm going to try something that's going to pay me good. And it worked. I cracked the code. It worked. So before I even quit my trucking job, I already had everything aligned. I already had like a plan, a huge plan on what I was going to do. Plus my side hustles that I was doing paid me way more money than working a trucking job. I'm telling y'all, it'd be days where I was making like $4,000 in one day. And here I am still driving the truck. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? But my mindset was stuck on that stability. It was stuck on stability. That's the hardest thing to go from being like a dependent person or having that type of mindset. But anyways, fast forward, before I actually quit my trucking job, like I said, I had my side hustles going. They were still working, but I needed something to actually, like an establishment, something I can actually depend on, because you side hustling, that could go away at any time. So I just invested my money into Uber Black, which was an accident, but it ended up working out because now I'm an Uber fleet owner. My mindset was never just be an employee. It was not trying to like, oh, be the boss, but it's just like be an entrepreneur to help provide opportunities for other people. And whenever you do that, a byfactor of that is making decent money. So I went from making 60 to 70K a year to now touching over high six figures, and that's per year. Now, the good thing about me being a fleet owner now is I'm on my own time. Now, don't get me wrong, I still work every day, 7 days a week, but it's my own pace. I'm not like forced. You in the truck, you forced. You got to get these loads out by a certain time if you want to make money. I'm in full control of my operation. I don't have nobody micromanaging me, telling me when I can take off, telling me when I can't. And it's just a better quality of life, man. Just, in my own environment, it's healthy. Now, I'm not saying the trucking environment is bad, because when I drove trucks, I stayed to myself. You can do that. But it's just like the environment could get bad if you like yap into other people. I don't know about y'all, but I was always a guy to stay to myself. Never really cared to talk to people because people be hating, they be weird. So I was just a guy to stay to myself. And that's some good advice I can give y'all. Stay to yourselves as much as possible. Don't go gossiping saying, man, I'm getting tired of this trucking job, man. I'm finna leave. Because what them people that you think you can trust gonna do is go back and tell the bosses. I promise you. I'm giving it to y'all real today. Please do not end up like them truck drivers that barely can walk, or they so overweight that they gotta have some type of assistance to help them get in and out of the truck. That's insane. Point of this is you can't drive trucks forever. If you want to make a career out of it, cool. But do it where you can boss up, where you're not like an employee forever. But if you want to be an employee forever, cool. That's the path you chose. But I'm speaking specifically, I have to say that because I know I probably get a lot of people that be like, man, nothing wrong with trucking, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, I'm speaking specifically to the people that know trucking is not their end all be all, like me. Trucking is just a stepping stone. I'm telling you, it will knock you down. The good thing about doing it young, which if you're watching this video, you super duper young, late teens, early 20s, even early 30s, you can kind of like bounce back. Like I started driving at 19, got out at 24, and I made a decent living. I set my life up amazing, but it also partial of that was the choices I made. I wasn't done with my money. I saved my money, built my credit, and I was stacking my bricks. So you have to do it strategically. You in your 20s and 30s driving trucks, perfect. Have an exit route in order to plan for your future. Don't just drive trucks and try to make a career out of it if you know trucking is not your end all be all. Now, once you hit your 40s and 50s and 60s, you pretty much like I ain't gonna say out of luck and it's not too late, but it's gonna be harder. Y'all gotta understand we live in different times now. AI taking over. Companies not eager to hire people. What do they need another body for? They'd rather just pay AI or something. So you quitting a trucking job at 40, 50, 60, you might have a family. It's gonna be harder. So I'm mainly speaking to my young people out there, 20s, 30s. Even if you're 40, 50, it's still not too late, but depending on your circumstances and situations, of course, or situation, of course. But the point is, y'all, like, utilize it to the best you can and just move on. That's the best thing I can tell you. If you're driving trucks right now, you need to be trying different things. Yes, trucking is on autopilot. Yes, you're showing up to the trucking job, but be trying other things. Start trying to discover talents and stuff that you good at. That way you can start charging people for it. That's what I was doing. So I'm like, man, I'm making decent money. So I start planning leaving kind of early. Plus I was around people that was like encouraging me to quit. They seen the potential. So that's why it's important to be like around the right people to be in your ear. You don't want to be around the wrong people. And also, like I said, keep exercising different side hustles, different things that you think you good at that you can potentially do full time where you work for yourself. So yeah, I planned 6 months ahead. I realized trucking, I'm capped. Unless I own the company, I'm only going to be able to make a certain amount of money. While I was driving, had a plan as far as different side hustles, testing different things to see what worked, found one that worked. And the rest was history. Built the plan off that, and then I made the leap and I quit my trucking job. So it's super duper important that you have a plan. You as a truck driver right now watching this video, identify what you want to do with your life. That's the first thing. If you know trucking not your end all be all. Once you identify that, start testing different things out. Keep making the money at the trucking job. Start planning, testing different things. And then as you test different things, find something that work on that as a side hustle while you're driving trucks. And then once you feel like, okay, this side hustle or this new business I'm starting, I see potential and I'm already seeing some type of results, some type of success, go full throttle, plan the full exit route and take that leap and never look back. I'm telling you now, you will not regret it. You will not regret it. It's up to you. It's up to you at the end of the day. What do you want? With that being said, if y'all need help with this, I'm here. I got y'all. I'm now offering mentorships where you give me one-on-one for 30 days straight. I can set you down, help you map out a plan. If y'all want to come drive smarter and come try Uber Black, I can put y'all on with that, telling y'all about how the Uber Black business run, whether you want to be a driver or you want to be a fleet owner. If y'all want to get access to my mentorships, I pinned the link in my description. It's in my bio. Just click it. But with that being said, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll catch y'all next video.